All, I'm Radhika, working as assistant professor in the Department of Mechatronics Engineering in SNS College of Technology. So in the previous two videos, we have learned few of the basic programs in Python language, say for example, adding two numbers and print how to print hello world. And so here we are going to learn about Python program to find square root of a number. So Ash is the place where I give explanation to the reader about what I'm going to give in the next line. So I'm telling the user as Python program to calculate the square root. I have given some notes, change this value for a different result. So there is a possibility of writing one program in two ways. If the value is fixed, you can give the value directly in the program. If the value is not fixed, if the value is changing continuously, then you can ask the user to enter the timely input. So that possibility is also there. So now here num is equal to the number is equal to 8, for which I am going to find the square root. So next I am giving another command. If the user wants to enter the input, then how can he enter? Num is equal to float of input notation, enter the number. So in the previous example, in the previous video, if you have watched, you can understand that while adding two numbers, we have given num1 is equal to input of quotation, enter the first number. So that is what we have got that is how we have got the input from the user. But here itself, I am introducing the word float of input, enter a number. So if even if the number is a decimal value, I'm just telling the system that it may be a decimal value, find the square root of the number. So that is either way I can get the input from the user. So to find the square root of a number, num underscore sqrt is equal to num star star. So star star means it's the symbol of exponentiation, exponential or power. Power of zero point 0.5. Zero point 0.5 is nothing but 1 by 2. We know very well that square root is nothing but 1 by 2. So which is 0.5. Print the square root of percentage point 3 of f, which means 8 I have given. Percentage point 3 of f means 8.000. If I give percentage point 2 f means 8.00. If I give percentage point 1 of f means 8.0. Is percentage point 3 f percentage number underscore square root. So the thing is, I want the output to get displayed as the square root of 8.000 is the value which we have calculated under num underscore square root. So how to get that output exactly in this place? Through the formula, dot format, right? So dot format for num comma num underscore square root is one method. Another method is also like percentage point 3 f percentage num comma num underscore square root, which means that I'm getting three values, three decimal values uh, from the formula which we have calculated, num underscore square root. So the next Python program which we are going to learn is square root of a number, but the number is not a real number. It is going to be a complex number. So in the previous slide, we have learned the square root of a number 8. Here we are going to learn the square root of the complex number 1 plus 2j. So here I am going to get the number, get the value as usual. So in spite of leaving all these lines, okay, find square root of real or complex numbers, importing the complex math module. So leave these two lines because they are just comment lines. Import cmath. I'm introducing a function called cmath, which is an inbuilt function to find the square root of complex numbers that I have to understand and I have to remember. Num is equal to 1 plus 2j. That is a number which was given by the user. So next, or else I can also have num is equal to EVAL input, enter a number. So I'm asking the user to enter the value. So now underscore square root is equal to cmath dot sqrt of number. So this is an inbuilt function to find the square root of the number which we got. Num underscore square root is equal to cmath dot sqrt of num. So this is like a command as usual, as like in Linux programming language. We have to memorize and remember some commands, and one among them is cmath dot sqrt of number. So how should I display the output, the square root of the input? Input is 1 plus 2j. How will I display curly bracket of 0 is? So 1 is to 03f plus 2 is to 03f means the first value 1, that is a real number, coefficient of the real number, plus 2 is a coefficient of the imaginary number 2j. J is the imaginary part, 1 is a real part, right? So the first real part I have to display with 3 decimal places. The second real part, second imaginary coefficient, I have to display with 3 decimal places. So 1 is to 0.3f plus curly bracket of 2 is to 0.3f of j, which is more important. And what's the formula? As usual, dot format. Open the bracket. Num comma num underscore square root dot real comma num underscore square root dot imaginary. So there is a small technique for the practice to learn Python programming language, which is nothing but executing it in the compiler. Online compiler is also available, and before you compile it, you have to write and see the program 2-3 times in your notebook so that you get used to Python programming. Okay, see you in the next video. Until then, it's a bye from Radhika.